Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a quick recap of functions.
Let's look at the first question. Show that p is equal to 3. Where is p? P is here. H of x is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus p. Okay, so in order to solve this question, we just need to know a bit of theory. So I'm just going to come here for a second, teach you a bit of theory. Let's consider a parabola. We can think of any parabola. Y is equal to x squared minus 5x minus 6. For example, if we draw this parabola, it could look like this. Now the key thing that I want to highlight here is that this last term without any x value, that's called your y-intercept. So therefore this point is 6. It might seem obvious, but it's also true for straight line equations. So if I have a straight line equation that's 2x plus 3, maybe a graph that looks like this here, y is equal to 2x plus 3, then this point that cuts your y-axis is going to be 3. So the constant in your equation is your y-intercept. And this is true for straight line equations. So straight line equations. So that's y is equal to mx plus c. And it's also true for parabolas, ax squared plus bx plus c. And it's also true for cubic functions, which you will cover in the next term. Now, so the c value, or that value at the end, that's your y-intercept. Now let's look at how this concept of the y-intercept is going to help us solve this question. They give us that t of x is mx plus 5. Therefore, the y-intercept for t of x, which is a straight line, so this is t of x, is 5. Therefore, we know straight away that's 5, or we can write the coordinates of b. The x value is 0 and the y value is 5. H of x is p, so therefore the coordinates of a is going to be p, so we can write a as 0 and p. However, they also tell us that AB is 2 units, so if I have to highlight that, AB is 2 units. That means the distance from A to B is 2. What must P be so that the distance to B, which is 5, is 2? That is correct. It has to be 3. So in order, if we start at 3 and we go 2 units up, we will get to 5. And so therefore we can say A is 0 and P, since AB is equal to 2 and B is 0 and 5. Therefore we can say P is going to be 5 minus 2, which is 3. We can continue with the next question. Just a key note, even if you could not do question 4.1, you should still continue with 4.2 assuming p is equal to 3. So if you are unable to do 4.1, you can still get the coordinates of f, which is the turning point. So we can assume that we found p is equal to 3. So we can say h of x is minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. Now in order to find turning point, we are going to use the formula. Turning point x is minus b over 2a. In this equation, b is equal to 2 and a is the coefficient of x squared, which is minus 1. So a is minus 1. B is the coefficient of x, which is 2. Excellent. So minus b over 2a, so that becomes minus b is 2 over 2, a is minus 1. If we plug this in our calculator, we get turning point x value is 1. In order to get the y value for your turning point, you need to substitute 1 back into your original equation. So that will be in our h of x formula. So if we substitute 1, we'll have minus 1 squared plus 2 into 1 plus p is 3. If we put that into our calculator, we will get 4. So our coordinates for f, or the turning point, is 1. That's our x value, and our y value is 4. Okay, so question 4.2 is correct. Now let's determine the coordinates of c. So I'm just going to write the coordinates of f on the side, 1 and 4. Now let's determine the coordinates of c. C is a x-intercept, an x-intercept because it cuts the x-axis. In order to solve for x-intercepts, we need to set y is equal to 0. So we can say 0 is equal to minus x squared plus 2x plus 3. So there's multiple ways to do this. You can plug it into your Casio calculator if you have the gray or white Casio. That should solve this equation for you. Alternatively, you could plug it into your quadratic formula. That's another approach. I will choose to factorize it. I will first multiply both sides by -1 to change the signs. So that's equal to x squared minus 2x minus 3. I multiplied both the left hand side and the right hand side by -1. That's why all the signs changed. Then I can factorize this into x minus 3, x plus 1. From this, I'll get two solutions. X is equal to 3 and x is equal to -1. My coordinates for C are therefore 3 and 0. There's my coordinate for C, 3 and 0. And this other coordinate here that's not named would be -1 and 0. Perfect. And so there we have C done. That's 3 marks. 3 and 0. Now let's find the length of EC. In order to find the length of EC, well, we need the equation of t of x, and that's because we know definitely the x coordinate of E is going to be 3, but the y coordinate is unknown. Because of this vertical line, we know the x coordinate is 3. In order to get the y coordinate, we need to plug in 3 into this equation, but m is unknown. Okay, what other information is given in this question? Well, we are given that CD is 7 units. If CD is 7 units and we know the coordinates of C are 3, so the x coordinate of C is 3, and we know the distance, the horizontal distance CD is 7, then we definitely know D is going to be 3 plus 7. So we can say D is equal to 3 plus 7, which is 10. I can put a small x there to say the x coordinate of D, and therefore I can write D as 10 and 0. D lies on the straight line, so I can substitute it in t of x. So I can take this coordinate and substitute it in t of x. So we have y is equal to mx plus 5. We know the coordinate of D is 10. 10 and 0 to be specific. So my y value is 0 is equal to m times 10 plus 5. If I take m to m, so this becomes 0 is equal to m times 10 is simply 10m plus 5. I can take 10m across to the left hand side, so it becomes minus 10m is equal to 5. Divide both sides by minus 10. Therefore, m is equal to minus a half if I put that into my calculator. Okay, now that I have m is minus a half, how do I get this y value? Well, we can simply substitute m into this equation. So t of x is equal to minus a half x plus 5. In order to get our unknown y value, we can substitute the 3 into the equation. So y is equal to minus a half into 3 plus 5. If I substitute that in my calculator, I will get 7 over 2. Perfect. So now that we found the coordinates of E is 3 and 7 over 2. The coordinates of C are 3 and 0. Therefore, this distance EC is just your vertical distance from 0 to 7 over 2. Therefore, we can write EC, that length, is simply the subtraction of the y value. So it's 7 over 2 minus 0, which is simply 7 over 2. Excellent.